The FCC just banned foreign drone sales to the US. So what does this mean to you? Let's jump into it. So first of all, I'm looking at the FCC release right now, and up at the top, it says that foreign UASs, aka drones, and their critical components, their parts, are now banned from entering the US moving forward. So that means that basically, if you already got one, then you're good to go. If it's in your stockpile, if it's in a store, warehouse, you're good to go. However, importing these in the future is going to be a problem. At the very top of this statement, it says on December 22nd, 2025, as President Trump stated in the Restoring American Airspace Sovereignty Executive Order, so they're citing an executive order by the executive branch led by President Trump, that unmanned aircraft systems, drones, UASs, they offer potential to greatly enhance public safety and innovation. So they're saying like, hey, drones can do some good things. At the same time, they're stating criminals, hostile foreign actors, and terrorists can use them to present new and serious threats to our homeland. As the United States prepares to host several mass gathering events, including the FIFA World Cup in 2026, the America 2050 celebration, and the 2028 LA Summer Olympics, the federal government is taking additional actions to safeguard Americans and restore American airspace sovereignty. So that's point number one. They're saying like, hey, drones can be good, but at the same time, we have some pretty big events coming up. So we want to be ready and we want to protect our airspace for those events. Additionally, the order goes on to say, or this announcement goes on to state that the executive order about the drone dominance and the national security strategy outlined ensures that a strong and resilient drone industrial base is a priority. So they're pretty much stating like, yes, we need it for national security, and that we also need our own domestic drone industry here. So they're citing that as another reason for this ban effectively. So what does this all mean? I'll give you some context here. So I used to work in the federal government. I used to work in national security. I've been flying drones for the last 10 years. I've been doing it to help businesses grow, to help them tell their story, real estate, corporate events, etc. What this is, and I just share that because this lets you know the lens of how I'm looking at this. So I know the national security side of things, and then I know the kind of business side, recreational side, hobbyist side, but then also just like the day-to-day drone pilot out there. This is pretty much stating that the US has lost its control over its airspace when it comes to these drones, or at least it feels that way, and it's taking steps to regain control because, you know, DJI drones are 90% of the market. Then, yeah, like backdoor systems to these drones could pose a threat. At the same time, I think the real issue here is that the US just dropped the ball when it comes to creating these prosumer and hobbyist grade drones on scale at affordable prices. You cannot beat the quality and the capabilities of a DJI drone. For the price that you pay, it's incredible. For $500, you're getting something that can essentially fly itself. And it's just like the image quality, the way that the controller knows the airspace around it, it's incredible. If you just think about how much value you're getting out of a drone, whether it's a $500 DJI or a $1,000 DJI, the fact that you can record in high quality video and have that drone be aware of its airspace and let you know that there could be air traffic in the area, it's incredible. And that you can just let go of the controller, it just hovers there. And you can do all these route planning and those sorts of missions if you want to. It's just incredible where we are now with drone technology. And because you have, of course, a company like DJI that they're relying on the manufacturing foundation that China has, which is it's incredible. We all know that. And we all know that the US is trying to get back some of those capabilities of being able to create high-tech products here in the US. And the fact of the matter is, companies like Apple, they rely on offshore manufacturing for things like the iPhone. We just cannot manufacture items like the iPhone, items like these prosumer drones and hobbyist drones at scale to the cost effectiveness and quality and capabilities that can be done abroad. And so it's almost like the issue here is that, yeah, it's a Chinese drone, right? So I can see this going a few ways. So what's going to happen is the US domestic drone industry is going to need to catch up so that it's not a 90% market for DJI drones. Once things have leveled out, maybe this ban will then go away. Another thing that can happen is there can be some de-risking on the DJI side. So if they see this as 100% Chinese, just like what they're doing with TikTok, right? So with TikTok, they're saying, let's get some US investors involved and other foreign countries involved. And so it's not just like 100% Chinese owned entity. So that's another route this can take. Given that these drones are incredibly popular and are used for law enforcement, national security, and of course hobbyists and everything in between, I highly doubt that China would allow DJI to kind of go that route like a TikTok. So ultimately, at the end of the day, the US just has to step up its game and start producing domestically made or foreign made but domestically controlled drones that can meet at some degree the level of a DJI, which I don't see that necessarily happening anytime soon. Unfortunately, that's just reality of things. And once things kind of balance out, then maybe this order will go away. As far as how long this ban will last, I have no idea. Like, we've seen things turn on and off with this administration, but they're citing things that are 2026, the 2028 Olympics, the FIFA World Cup in 2026. So they're kind of citing some long-term future things. So maybe this might last longer than something that's just on one day and then revoked another day. So we might be in the long haul here, especially because of those future events. And then also it's going to take time for the domestic drone industry here to ramp up and get to where anything close to a DJI. So I would err on the side of us being in this situation for a while. So what does this mean for you? One, if you're thinking of buying a DJI, buy it. Just buy it. Like, this is your chance. If you run a business that is supported by DJI products, stock up. If you crash your drone, you're going to have a replacement in your own inventory. For those of you who are wondering, well, I want to buy a drone and I want to get into the hobbyist side or even start my own business, but how am I going to get DJI refresh and all that? Just buy the drone, learn how to fly, be careful when you fly, get insurance on it. That's what I have. I have insurance through a company called skywatch.ai, and I recently had an incident where my drone did not observe some branches here in the wintertime, and then I did not observe where it was relative to this height of this tree, and so it got stuck in a branch. They have replaced my drone, and I just bought a new one. So I didn't do any of the DJI refresh. It was just a loss, right? There are local repair folks who can repair your drone. There are like crafty people who have these items in stock. You don't have to go through DJI. I say all this because there's other ways for you to de-risk your situation when flying your drone. So one, just be careful. Take it step by step. Get in mold like a ton of hours as you ramp up before you start doing any crazy flights. Insure your drone. Whether you get DJI refresh or not, I don't know. I haven't had DJI refresh in years. I got it when I first had my first drone, and I've been doing the insurance route ever since. I think if you have the money, just insure it, and then you can go buy another drone, and they'll cut you a check. You'll buy your replacement drone. They didn't care where I bought it. I bought it on Amazon. I could have bought it maybe on like eBay. So there's going to be a secondary market for these drones now. So the price of these drones are going to go up now because they're limited supply. That's just how economics works. So because of that, I would just say buy your drone now, insure it, be careful when you fly, stock up on your inventory if you need to, if you run this as your business. I'm thinking now, I fly an Air 3S, so I usually have at least two in case one goes down during a flight. And so in this case, I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah, maybe I do need to make sure I have redundancies. Maybe I should upgrade now. So those are the things that I'm thinking about. Right now, I'm just going to kind of take it one day, 1 week at a time. And maybe I will get that backup Air 3S now just because they're still being sold on Amazon. So they're still easy to get. You can buy them in a really conventional way. If one goes down, I got the second on my own here. And if one goes down, then I can buy it secondary market on eBay, have insurance pay for it. I have a backup already, so I can keep working, right? At the end of the day, this ban is a blend of multiple factors. We have national security at play. We have our own domestic manufacturing lacking at play, right? So we kind of dropped the ball there, and that's why we are here. We have a lot of good drone manufacturers that build for law enforcement and military, because that's where the money is at, and you don't need scale as much as you do on the consumer side, so that makes sense. But as far as consumer, prosumer products, we really dropped the ball, and it's sad to see that. I don't know if the US will ever get back to a place where it can manufacture like that. Apple hasn't done it, so why do we think that we can do that with something like a drone, which is just too bad. I get it. I get why we're doing it. Like I said, I used to work in the federal government. I used to work in national security. I've flown drones now for 10 years, and this is my main business, right? But yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're going to have to just see how it all shakes out. I hope this helps. Overall, like I would just say, just move forward. Like, we'll figure it out. And if you are in the drone business, or you're looking to get into drone flying or starting your own drone business, feel free to follow me here. My name's Abel Acuna. I run a company called Drones Over Texas, and I shoot photos and videos for businesses all throughout the US. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to help out and give my advice however I can help. All right, guys. Until then, take care. Happy holidays. Catch you later.